Mr. Agarwal, good afternoon, and thanks a lot for joining us today on BloombergQuint. On this new acquisition of yours, I want to know what sort of revenues currently Zen3 Infosolutions is garnering.
Hey, hi, good afternoon. So, the acquisition obviously is in line with the strategy to build new capabilities. So the way you have to think about it, the transaction is about fulfilling capability gaps in our portfolio. Zen3 did revenues of $25 million for the first 6 months of calendar 2019, and for the full year 2018, calendar year 2018, they did revenues of $38 million. So the company is on a high growth path in capability areas around artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud engineering, and that's the basis of our acquisition.
I'm just going to extrapolate the figure so you can correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Agarwal, you said 38 million they did in calendar year 2018 and 6 months, that's halfway FY 19-25. What sort of contribution then do you see on your top line from this acquisition, and what's the growth potential that you're targeting? Can we expect full year revenue to be in the range of $50 million?
So I just said it's an extrapolation. Clearly, our objective of this acquisition is deriving synergies with our existing business in our existing clients. From a capability perspective, the areas which I spoke about, AI and ML, cloud engineering, these are high growth areas. So we do expect this to be a high growth business line, high growth capability set for the business. And obviously we don't give out forward-looking guidance on our numbers. But this is going to be critical in our go-to-market approach with our clients.
Let me rephrase my question then. I was extrapolating on basis of the numbers you gave me, but I'm sure you would have some, targets in mind when you went ahead for the acquisition. Morgan Stanley's report has said that the current profile implies acquisition could add about 1% to your revenues. Do you agree with that?
So yeah, absolutely. So I agree. So from an extrapolation perspective, this is a $50 million run rate business on the basis of the first 6 months numbers. So that does translate into about 1% of our revenues at about 5.4 billion. Yeah.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, good afternoon. Let's talk about the strategy going forward now. This is one acquisition that you've made, and this is obviously, the segment itself is growing, and there are, some gaps, like you said, which you need to fill in through these kind of acquisitions. So is this going to be what you're going to undertake in terms of string of pearl acquisitions across the board to get to your ultimate goal of, getting into that space where you're lacking currently?
Absolutely. I think if you follow some of our acquisitions in the last 1 year, we've been consistent with the strategy. These been focused acquisitions in the 25 to 60 million revenue range. And each of those acquisitions has given us a specialist capability, which we've plugged into our overall set of offerings. And a primary driver for these acquisitions is ultimately driving synergy, growing our relevance to our existing clients, acquiring new clients. So these are very focused on driving higher growth for the business overall.
All right, Mr. Agarwal, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us. Quick updates coming in from the management at Tech Mahindra regards their latest acquisition that they have made, looking to fill in the strategic, gaps that they have with these smaller acquisitions that they have been undertaking.